All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 77. I'm glad to have you today. We are talking about a book review for Who Not How. Here we go. Let me get it up there. Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. Also, Benjamin Hardy. All right. So, this is a game changing book. If I do a book report or a book review on here, the only reason I'm doing it is because I think this book really is going to impact you and your business and will have a massive impact. So, now the reason this is such a game changer, if you think about this, the whole concept is that when we're trying to learn something new, to develop a new skill, our focus is always on the how. How do you do it? And in real estate, when we want to be a real estate investor and build a real estate business, we have to learn a whole bunch of things. So, a bunch of these episodes are about the how. How do you market? How do you talk to sellers? How do you screen seller calls? How do you make offers? Right? Over and over, it's how. Well, the premise of this book is that it is a slow process to try to learn the how of all these different steps. And so the author recommends that it's much quicker and will be much more successful if instead of figuring out the how, we find a who. So, one example would be I did the rehab on the houses, probably the first 15 houses that I bought. And because of my background, I knew some of the how of how to do that, but I was still trying to figure out how to refinish old hardwood floors, how to put in vinyl replacement windows, how to, right? All these little tasks. And he would argue you just need to find one really good contractor. If you find that one who that already knows all the hows, you will grow much faster. And that was true for my business in that instance. Once I hired more contractors, our growth took off much faster. All right. So, what are some other key insights from this book? Because really, if you think about it, the concept immediately, to me, it kind of immediately makes sense. It's like, yes, that's great. But this is sad to say, but how do you do it, right? How do you find the who? How do you manage the who? How do you, somehow work together with all these people? Because as real estate investors, a lot of times we're very independent, and that's a weakness. So the book is broken down essentially into four freedoms that if we are successful, we can build a large business, larger than we can even imagine or envision on our own. And the benefits of that business will give us four freedoms. So, one of those freedoms is the freedom of time. So, we will be able to dictate our own time. We won't have to show up somewhere like a 9 to 5 job. We won't have to show up at the set time and leave at the set time and count our hours. We will be able to dictate how we use our time. And one of the key tips it has in the book is if you're trying to figure out what tasks to delegate to somebody else or to hand over to somebody else to do, a good way to figure out what tasks should be handed off is what tasks do you procrastinate on? And for me, that really hit home because I am a big picture person. I am not a detail person. And accounting or paying bills in my mind registers as just a detail that's of very little significance. Even though I know it is important, but I just can't get motivated to do it. So it would drag on, you know, in some years I'd be sitting for a week with a table trying to figure out taxes with all these piles of receipts. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's not real enjoyable. You want to avoid it at all costs. So when I hired an assistant, she is very good at detail-oriented tasks. She excels at those. And so those tasks that used to drag on forever now get done very quickly. So definite, definitely relate to those things that we procrastinate on. Really, we need to figure out a who that can do those, a who that is working within their skill set when accomplishing those tasks. Okay, number 2 is the freedom of money. So, if we build a successful business by incorporating more people, more who's, we will have freedom of money. We will no longer be concerned about how much money is coming in or versus how much we're spending. And we will be able to spend money on what we want. So, a key concept they have in that section is if you have enough money to solve a problem, you don't have a problem, which is very interesting if you think about that. If you have enough money to solve a problem, you don't have a problem. So, and with that concept, a lot of the problems in our business would be solved if we just generate more money. All right, you're going to have to think about it or read the book. Read it, think about it as you're reading the book. That's my recommendation. All right, number 3, freedom of relationship. So our success will give us the freedom to pick and choose who we spend our time with. And this is additionally true. The author does a great job of pointing out, it's also true for customers that our success, when we become successful, we will no longer have the concept that the customer is always right. We will not have to put up with a customer who is a royal pain to deal with. And for anybody out there managing rentals, I don't know if you've ever had one of those residents who just, they can never come to that side where we're in this together and we all want the same thing, a house that's taken care of, right? So I can relate because this last year I had 2 residents that I can think of that I finally just said, it's time for you to move on. You are not our ideal customer. And that really felt good. It made the staff happy. Everybody was happier. Life got easier. There was some expense, obviously, in the move out and fixing it up and re-renting it, but well worth it. So with success, we get the freedom of relationship to do business with who we want. All right. And the 4th freedom that the book talks about is the freedom of purpose. We get to do things not only because we need to do it to survive or to make a living, but because we want to and because it's fulfilling. It's what we have been designed to do. All right. Awesome. That really is a whole part of the brand True Wealth, right? True Wealth is getting to do something that makes an impact in the world, something with purpose that impacts your community and those you're around. So I am still processing the book to figure out exactly how I can incorporate more people into the business. And I really challenge you to read the book and consider how you can incorporate more people. And if you struggle, which for me, sometimes I struggle, is there enough work? If I have somebody who processes all of my seller leads, is there enough work for them? Well, the book would argue if you can't figure out enough work or enough involvement to incorporate more people, you don't have big enough dreams. All right. So we are going to need some big, hairy, audacious goals, as Jim Collins would have said, some big dreams to incorporate people, cast the vision, get them excited and involved, and we'll be able to build a business bigger than we ever imagined. So I hope you check out the book. 100% highly recommend it. If you have a big, hairy, audacious goal, definitely post it in the comments email me, chat at truewealthinvestors.com. I'd love to hear it. And I'll definitely get back with you. So as always, thanks for watching. Keep building your dream life one door at a time.